A new Gallup poll shows 66% of Democrats now view socialism favorably. Only 42% say they have a positive view of capitalism. That divide is even sharper among Democrats who are under the age of 50. The Associated Press has this. The shifts underscore deep divisions within the party about whether open support for socialism will hurt Democrats' ability to reach moderates or galvanize greater support from people who are concerned about issues like the cost of living. All of that a quote. Here is reaction from some high-profile Democrats.
I think that what it's about is the corruption and the rigging of the economy by the wealthiest few.
I literally was in a former communist nation. And I asked that. I said, some people in my party, some of the lefties are talking about socialism now. What do you think? He's like, that's the worst thing ever. You're going to need a reality check if you ever adopt any of those things. You know, like you are morons.
These systems are not working for the majority of Americans anymore. This world that we've inherited is not sustainable to human life, and there has to be a better way of doing things.
Did you hear the Democrat senator from Pennsylvania, Fetterman, call people in his own party lefties? I mean, he does not like where it's going. Power panel now, Jeremy Hunt, Veterans on Duty chairman, former Army intelligence captain, and Julian Epstein, former chief counsel for the House Judiciary Committee. Great to see you both, gentlemen. Julian, can your party win now, since people say in majority that they like socialism? Can they win with a Mamdani or an Omar Fatah in Minneapolis as mayor?
Not if they keep going far left, because it's not where the American people are. Socialism is a form of civilizational suicide, Harris. As Margaret Thatcher said, the problem with socialism is soon you start running out of other people's money. This idea, socialism, is being promoted by the academic left and the activists, tolerated by the party officials, mostly because these folks inside the Democratic Party have never built anything. And so what they do is they preach resentment of the Western free market democratic system. Meanwhile, they bathe in its riches. You know, just to circle back on your education plan, Roland Fryer has a beautiful piece in the Wall Street Journal today about how to fix the education problem coming out of COVID, and particularly the racial achievement gap. But the Democrats don't do anything because they're beholden to the teachers' unions. And so rather than building and fixing things, and Roland Fryer lays out this piece beautifully in the Wall Street Journal this morning, but rather than fixing them, the Democrats are so bent on complaining about what they see as an oppressive Western free market system. And this is an illusion.
Wow.
The free market system of the West has liberated more people and lifted billions of people out of poverty more than any system ever, but all the left knows how to do is complain.
Well, and that complaining keeps them right where they are, and it keeps all of us stuck if we choose to follow their way of thinking. But I'm excited about the future, and that is not the party you just described in Democrats. Jeremy.
That's right. I mean, I think for those of us on the right, it's going to be really important that we teach the truth, right? And teach the truth of American exceptionalism and how our way of life is actually leading to lifting people out of poverty. Now, but of course, it's also important that we diagnose the problem, right? I mean, I think a lot of, especially Gen Z and some millennials, they're coming out of college, they're saddled with $100,000 worth of debt. They are, getting worthless degrees that aren't helping them get jobs in the real world. They're unable to afford a down payment on a home to be able to actually take part and have a piece of the capitalist system and some of the upside. And so I think what's happening a lot of times is that they're looking around and the colleges are saying, well, this is America's fault. It's capitalism's fault, right? This is all the American problem. Well, no, actually, a lot of this is the brokenness in the higher education system, right? And I think on the right, we need to correctly diagnose a lot of the issues and attack those problems and teach the importance of American exceptionalism and why socialism has failed every single time it has been tried.
Yeah, voting for this country and rooting for us as a country should actually not even be partisan. We should all want America to go and be big on every stage and have our kids be ready for that. Let's get to this. Critics are taking a note of far-left Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez living large while railing against the wealthy. Oh, hypocrisy. New campaign filings show that she dropped thousands of cash on her national Fighting the Oligarchy tour, along with Senator Bernie Sanders. She splurged at several luxury hotels for their stays on that tour and more. And this news after she was spotted flying first class to a Las Vegas town hall back in April, and even used a private jet on the tour. All that travel is estimated to have cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. But while they were enjoying the high life, here's what she was telling voters.
They all have one central economic mission: to make billionaires richer at the expense of the rest of us. The agenda of dark money, to keep wages low and loot our public goods to give to the rich, is deeply unpopular.
A certain ugly kind of politics to pay for tax cuts for the rich and bailouts for their crypto billionaire friends.
Well, I'm glad the camera caught her reading most of that because, I mean, Julian, she certainly doesn't live what she's saying. And hey, if it's her cash, that's fine.
Yes, but Harris, the hypocrisy of the champagne socialists who want to talk about how oppressive the democratic free markets are of the left, while they bathe in their riches. I mean, if it's not Bernie Sanders flying on private jets saying flying commercial is for little people, I don't have time for that thing, or AOC bathing in these luxury hotels, or even Hamas, if you want to take an extreme example, living as billionaires in Qatar, partly from the money that the West has funded it. So the hypocrisy of the champagne socialists on the left is part of why I think most Americans reject this, and why I think this is a siren call for Democrats to go down this road. It's ultimately a very, very hollow ideology that collapses when you see these kind of contradictions.
You just went so hard for your own party. Talking about the Hamas cash that they've given them. Wow.
I'm hoping to correct the party because it's on a suicide mission right now.
Well, it sounds like you're going to try, but my goodness, you're setting them up for a whole lot of truth, and I love that. Jeremy?
Yeah, I mostly agree with what he said. I mean, I think that's exactly right. I mean, when you look at someone like AOC, the problem isn't so much when you have rich politicians. I mean, rich people get elected to office. There's nothing wrong with liking nice things.
True.
The problem is that when you make your money in office, when you campaign saying that you're this working class person, and then all of a sudden you're worth multiple millions of dollars with a career in D.C., that is the problem. And so I think it's very important that when people see this hypocrisy, that we call it out and we say that, look, here in America, we're going to have some accountability. Yeah. You don't get to make a career out of this and then also reap the benefits of being rich.
That's why it works for Trump, because he doesn't say he's anything other than what he is. He is
exactly.
He is authentic and wants to help Americans rise, too. Great to see you both, gentlemen, outnumbered after the break.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.